It's a privilege to be here with Dr. Ken and Michelle Canfield.
Dr. Ken Canfield is president and founder of the National Center for Fathering and the author of numerous articles that have influenced and inspired many, including myself. Ken has authored several award-winning books, such as 7 Secrets of Effective Fathers, The Heart of a Father, The Adventures of Fatherhood series, They Call Me Dad, and most recently, The Heart of Grandparenting. Dr. Michelle Watson Canfield founded the Abba Project, where she leads dads of daughters ages 13 to 30 to dial in with more intention and consistency to their heart space. She has written 2 incredible books for dads of daughters titled, Dad, Here's What I Really Need From You, a guide for connecting with your daughter's heart, and her second book, Let's Talk, conversation starters for dads and daughters. She also hosts an amazing podcast called The Dad Whisperer Podcast, where she provides practical resources for dads, especially those with daughters.
So I have the distinct pleasure of working with fathers from all walks of life. And it seems that many men are just worn out by all the negative narratives. Why do you think there's such an attack on the hearts of men?
Okay, I love what scripture says. John 8:44 has the words of Jesus where he called Satan the what of lies? Father. Not the CEO, not the grand poobah, but the father of lies. He has an agenda to lie to your kids. And you as a dad have a counterfeit father who wants to step in and lie to them and download truths that he calls truths, but the lies where they stick is to our wounded places. And dads, you get to step in as a conveyor of truth, God's truth to your kids, to counter the counterfeit father. That's part A to your question. The other scripture I want to bring up is the last verse of the whole Old Testament, Malachi 4:6. Where God himself knew he'd be signing off for 400 years before his son Jesus came. And what does he say? If the hearts of fathers, not the heads, if the hearts of fathers don't turn to their children and children to their fathers, goes both ways. He says, I will come and strike the land with a curse. Well, that word jumps off the page, doesn't it? If you go all the way back to Genesis 3, where after sin, God said there's a curse. The enemy loves the curse. The enemy wants to, again, attack your kids and curse them. And I don't think we have to look very far, do we, Ken, to see the impact of the curse on your kids, on this nation. And I believe fathers hold a powerful impact to stand in the gap for their kids against the attacks of the enemy, to stand in and be conveyors of God's truth to kids. And dads, it's time to step up because a real enemy wants to go after your kids, and you get to stand up as a real father connected to the real father and be a conduit to your kids of truth and of love. And that's why I believe dads are under attack today.
Ken, how do men deal with those father wounds, or in some cases, those mother wounds?
Oh, Jackson, deep question, very important. We all have had fathers and mothers. To the extent that we've reconciled those issues of our childhood, that will make us exceptional fathers, and that takes time. I think, first of all, you need to recognize the impact of your father. How are you like him? How are you different? What is it you wished you would have had more of from your father? The second thing, you need to reflect on that. Think hard how your life and behavior as a father is being an image of the past. If it is, you have to deal with it, and then it's resolving. You're going to do something that no one else is going to do in your generation. So go for it and make sure you have a band of brothers, of men around you to support you.
Perfect. I love that. Michelle, this one's for you. Okay. Now, as a girl dad myself, I'm raising 3 teenage daughters right now. What are some practical things that I can do to get after their heart?
Love that question. Yes, dads always say it's like a new valve to their heart opens when they have a daughter, different than their sons. There's so many different ways I could answer that, but I'm going to just sum it up with ABC. ABCs of fathering a daughter. A, action. How many of you had action figures that you loved when you were kids, right? Every dad. And yet you wouldn't have liked that action figure if he didn't take what? Action. So it's easy to talk the talk, but you gotta walk your talk. And so action means you initiate time with your daughter one-on-one. Take her out on a date this month so that you spend time looking into her eyes, asking her questions about what's going on with her, and then listening, right? 2 ears, 1 mouth. B, Be the man you want her to marry. Model to her what respect looks like, love feels like, chivalry. What does that look like? She's going to watch the way you treat her mom, speak about her mom, even if you're not with her mom. She'll internalize what you say about her mom. So be the man you want her to marry, and see consistency. Is so many daughters say, my dad was kind of like, he went to this retreat or went to this conference, was kind of into connecting for a couple months, and then it died off. And, Proverbs 13 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. So the three things I would say is A, take action to pursue her heart. B, be the man you want her to marry. And consistency. Stay the course, stay connected.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Ken, I have this question's for you.
Okay.
Fathering, as you well know, like I said, you father five, I father five. It's a challenge for any man, regardless of race, geographic background.
Yes.
Some practical things that dad can do or fathers can do to help along this journey.
Well, I've had the privilege of studying fathers for over 33 years, both scientifically and practically. And then God smiled and said, I'm going to put this brother in the crucible. So 5 kids. Okay, it's very simple. I call it the I cans of fathering. Everybody can overcome, but you have to have these components. First of all, your involvement. It's critical. Kids spell love, Time. So it's that sense of quantity and quality mixed together. The second, as Michelle said, is consistency. Your predictability and dependability is so key. Do you keep the promises you make to your children, to their child's mother, etc., etc.? A is your awareness of their world. This is where you need to know what they're doing, what they're involved with, their friends, their teachers, coaches, and watch closely the social media and the influences that are attacking them. And then the N is nurturance. There's nothing better than a father's blessing his child. Take that hand, those hands God's given you, put them around your child in an appropriate way, bless them, and share with them your heartfelt passion for who they are, and they're a gift to you. I think the I cans of fathering can raise up a whole group of men that will be dads of destiny.
Awesome. This has been great. Guys, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.